All right, let's get right into it. If you've been scrolling through the news lately, you have definitely seen the headlines. Massive layoffs are happening across so many industries. This isn't just some small dip, though. The job market is at a huge crossroads, and today we're going to break down exactly why that is.
And really, our whole analysis today kicks off with this one powerful idea. Economic uncertainty is once again haunting the world of work. That one sentence just perfectly sums up the anxiety that so many people are feeling, and it really sets the stage for the pretty complex situation we're about to dive into.
And you might be thinking, oh, this is just another tech bubble thing, right? But nope. As you can see, the cracks are showing up everywhere, across the major pillars of the economy. We're talking transportation, pharmacy, and even manufacturing, the sectors we usually think of as rock solid. This is happening far and wide, and that's what makes it so concerning. So all this instability is obviously alarming, but here's where it gets kind of weird. Underneath all the headlines, there's a really confusing and contradictory picture forming. It's this paradox that just doesn't seem to make any sense at first. So, what is it? This is the heart of the paradox. So, check this out. On one hand, companies are hitting the brakes hard on hiring new people. But on the other hand, the layoffs are just piling up. So, wait a second. How can a company be freezing hiring and firing people at the exact same time? Well, analysts actually have a name for this. It's a phase where companies are stopping new hires and getting rid of existing staff simultaneously. I know, it sounds totally contradictory, but it all comes down to one goal: protecting those profit margins when the future feels so uncertain.
Okay, so knowing what it's called is one thing, but the real question, the one we all have, is why? Why is this all happening right now? What's the engine that's really driving this strange behavior in the market?
Well, it turns out it's not just one thing. The analysis points to this kind of perfect storm of three major forces all hitting at once. We're talking new import tariffs, soaring inflation, and, of course, the massive shift toward AI. First up, let's talk about import tariffs. Policies like the ones from the Trump administration suddenly added a bunch of new costs to global supply chains. That puts a direct financial squeeze on companies, and when they need to cut costs, well, payroll is often one of the first places they look. Next, there's inflation, and we all feel it at the grocery store, right? Well, for businesses, it's that, but on a massive scale. The cost of everything from raw materials to shipping is just going through the roof. This eats away at their profits, which makes labor, one of their biggest expenses, a very tempting target for cuts. And the final piece of the puzzle is maybe the biggest game changer of all: the strategic pivot to AI. Now, this isn't just about cutting a few jobs to save money. We're talking about companies fundamentally rebuilding their entire operations around this technology. That means the skills they're looking for are changing, and changing fast, leading to a huge restructuring where some roles disappear and new AI-focused ones are created. So, when you combine the pressure from tariffs, the squeeze from inflation, and the disruptive force of AI, you get the perfect recipe for a storm. These three things hitting all at once are triggering one massive, overarching consequence for the entire workplace. And this is it. This is the ultimate result. These drivers are forcing what's being called an aggressive transformation of how companies are structured. And let's focus on that word, aggressive. This is not a slow evolution. This is a rapid and honestly a pretty fundamental reshaping of how businesses are built and who they need. And that brings us to the final, critical question that this whole situation points to. As these work structures are being transformed so quickly, we have to ask ourselves, what role is left for us? It's a question that really challenges us to think about our own skills, how we can adapt, and where we fit in the economy of tomorrow.